Hello, welcome to my channel. This is So Much Sewing and my name is Catherine. So Much Sewing is all about my home sewing adventures. It's all about what I get up to here in my sewing room. Today what I'm getting up to is I'm showing you a whole bunch of fabric that I have purchased over the last few weeks, probably stretching into a couple or even 3 months. I'm not sure. I haven't really, actually one of them has been hanging around for quite some time. I don't buy a lot of fabric these days because, as I keep banging on about, I have a cupboard full of fabrics that I'm working my way through. But every now and then you see something and you think, oh, I have to have that. Or every now and then you see something and you think, I just want that. So that's what this little collection of fabrics is all about. I also have a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch, I have a few patterns that I have purchased recently too. So I hope you will enjoy seeing what I've been purchasing, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the plans that I might have for these fabrics and patterns. But first of all, I will tell you what I'm wearing, and I am wearing the Hazlewood top by Tessuti Patterns. This is a bit of a go-to sort of wintry top for me. I've made a few of these and I do really like them, although I have to say I wonder about the neck. I wonder if I need to lower the neckline on this because it always gets a fold here, and obviously I've got the microphone sitting here weighing it down, but it always folds like this, and it does it on every time I've made the pattern. So I just wonder if I need to bring this neckline down a little bit, but in any case, I really enjoy wearing this. I've made this in a cotton rib that I purchased a long time ago. I made this top a long time ago, and I pulled it out of my wardrobe today because I haven't worn it for a while, and it's just perfect for days like this. I think we're about 2 days away from entering into winter, but today it's very, very sunny, and but it's chilly, but it's not cold enough to be wearing anything wintry like wool, merino or anything like that. So out of the wardrobe this came. Behind me on the mannequin here is my Billy waistcoat that I made for my husband. It's a Merchant & Mills pattern. I do talk to you about this in a previous video, which I will link down below if you're interested in having a look at it, but this is made in a boiled wool and my husband and I just absolutely love it. But let's get on to the fabrics first. I'll start with the fabrics, and this fabric, I seem to be going through a green phase. I wore a green dress last week, merino dress last week on my video, and many of you said how much you thought green suited me. That's probably another reason why I pulled this out of the wardrobe. And I just seem to be going through a green phase because look what I've done is I have purchased some rayon spandex jersey. This came from Spotlight. I have actually washed this and it's all ready to go. I did think that I might make another cashmere Wexford top out of this, but what I've done is I've spent some time altering the pattern a little bit, and I think I'm going to make a high-low version. So it sits higher in the front and lower in the back. But anyway, whether I do that or not is another story, but that is what's in my mind for this fabric at the moment. It has got white on the back, which I never really like. Not that I ever stretch anything that far on my body, believe you me, but it is always a little bit disappointing when you can see white, or if for example, if you've got a floppy collar and it flops open and you can see the white on the other side, that's always disappointing. But anywho, Spotlight rayon jersey. The next piece I have to show you is apparently a cotton lycra. Though I wouldn't know, I haven't done any burn tests. I purchased this on our local buying, selling platform, Trade Me. It's looking extremely lilac-y. And I mean, obviously, I would say it probably does have a sort of a lilac-y base, but it's grey. It is sort of almost a steel grey, really, so it's not as bright as what you are seeing on the screen there. It's probably even darker than this bit here. No, yeah, hard to say, but it's probably that sort of depth where you can see the shadow there, and it's definitely a sort of a steely grey. So yes, purchase this on Trade Me for a really good price. Someone just destashing, I suppose, and that will be some kind of a t-shirt. You can never have too many t-shirts in your wardrobe, can you? So that is that one. This next fabric I am so in love with. It was a bit of a splurge. These other two fabrics here were, you know, very low cost, inexpensive, you know, no-brainers to purchase. This one I did just think about it, not for very long actually. This is not the colour. This is not the colour, but it is called Rose, and it is very much a dusky bluey rose colour. It is 20% silk and 80% rayon. It is absolutely gorgeous. I got this from Drapers in New Zealand. Drapers, of course, are also in Australia. And this was a splurge. It was definitely a splurge, but I saw this. I don't know why. I saw this and I absolutely had to have it. I think it was the colour more than anything, and I just really wish I could show you the colour. But obviously with rayon in it, such a high percentage of rayon, it's going to be very, very drapey. It is very, very drapey. My idea for this fabric is I think I would like to make like a long line jacket. Something like I think it's called the Loren jacket by Style Arc, which actually Loren has had a expansion pack brought out recently where they've got, because the Loren original's got quite a narrow shawl collar on it, but they've brought out an expansion pack that's got a much wider lapel, some different sleeves. I can't remember. I'll put pictures up to remind us all. But so something like that, a long, oversized, loose blazer. Perhaps it could be a dress. I did get 3.5 meters because obviously you've got to watch the way the fabric's running as you're cutting your fabric out, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough to do something. So yeah, the front runner at the moment is a long line oversized blazer, but I'm open to suggestions. If you have an idea for a wintry dress perhaps that would look fabulous in this beautiful drapey velvet, silk rayon velvet, then I would love to hear about that. The next fabric I have is merino. It's quite a lightweight piece of merino, but not that lightweight. It's about 190 GSM. The colour is coming up reasonably true, although it's deeper in real life than on the screen. This is called Eggplant, this colour, and this is another one that I saw it come up and I absolutely had to have it. I really didn't think too hard about this at all. I love this colour. This is one of my favourite ever colours in my whole entire life. I got just 2 meters of this, I think, or maybe even 1.8 meters. What patterns have I got in mind for this fabric? This could be, actually I have the Tabor from, is it Sew House 7, the Tabor. I haven't made that up yet, but this is I might make it up in this fabric here. Oh, it just feels so soft and lovely. I really can't wait to make this up. This is apparently a Japanese ponte. It's got a lovely brushed back on it. It's 60% cotton, 35% rayon, I think. Yep, 35% rayon and 5% spandex or lycra. This is a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be, and so snuggly with that brushed back. So this, I'm in two minds about what I will make with this, because while our winters here in Christchurch are quite wintry, they do get quite cold, but you know, when you're inside, you're at work, in the office, you've got the heater on, so you don't need, you know, really big thick layers, and this is going to be so warm. I'm in two minds about what to do with it. I don't want a pair of trousers made out of this. I don't want any stretchy pants. It has to be a top. I don't think I want a jacket, because I've got quite a few jackets at the moment that I'm wearing and really enjoying, so I don't really need another jacket. But what I am thinking about is actually, it's a pattern that I will talk to you about shortly. And the last fabric I have to show you is very out of season. It is so out of season. It's crazy, but I saw it and I thought this is not going to stick around, and sure enough, it has sold out. This was from Drapers, and it's a cotton linen mix. I love the colours on that. I just love all those colours. I really do. It's on a really sort of an ink background. There's a bit of sort of texture and sort of a bit of texture and a sort of bit of a stripy nature to it. I don't know if it's coming up on the camera. Look at those beautiful colours. I love it. The first pattern I will show you is not the first pattern I bought. It's just, it came to hand because it's actually a hard copy. It's a printed pattern in a packet. The Sienna Maker Jacket by Closet Core. Again, I purchased this off Trade Me. Someone was destashing. I think I bought it for $10 or $12, something like that. So obviously I have seen this pattern around for quite some time, and you know, when these things come up for a good price, sometimes you just buy them, don't you? But this jacket here is, what size does it go up to? It's their smaller size range. It goes from 0 to 20. So the upper measurement for this around the bust is 117 centimetres or 46 inches, waist 99 centimetres or 39 inches, and hip 122 centimetres or 48 inches. So it's the smaller of their size range. I presume this has a larger size range, you know, do they go from 18 upwards? I can't really quite remember how their size range goes. If you buy this online as a PDF, you probably can get larger sizes, is what I'm saying, because this is not very size inclusive, but it'll do me. It'll do me nicely. I think I'll probably make the size 18. And the version I would make, I probably would make either this version, but I would put those sleeves on it. I'm not really sure about, you know, having those pockety things there on the sleeve. So I probably would put those sleeves on it, or I might even make this version here. I have some twill fabrics that actually would look quite good in that. I've got a olive drab kind of colour, and I have a deep blackberry kind of a colour, which could be made into this or this. So that is one of the patterns I purchased. I've got no immediate plans to make this. This will just sit in my stash for years probably until I get around to making it, but it's there for when I do decide I want to make it. The next pattern to tell you about is, it's a brand new pattern out from Made by Ray, and it's the Sapphire dress. I really like that elasticated bodice. I like that it sits nice and high. I like an empire waistline. The bottom part of my belly is very fluffy and floppy and fuzzy, and so, you know, one doesn't like to draw attention to that. So a nice empire line allows fabric to skim over the lower belly, and I just think that's really nice with especially in the back, the way it sits there. I think it's a really nice dress, and it's nice as a top too, although I probably in the pictures here, it's quite a short top. I probably would actually make that more tunic length. I think that would work really nicely. You can, of course, do a short sleeve as well, add a nice V-neck to it. So that's just a pattern that I am really looking forward to making up in the summertime. And actually this here, this cotton linen here might actually just fit the bill. How much fabric do you need for this? Oh gosh, what size am I? They've got some A to N sizing, which is interesting. What does the A to N mean? Here we go. So it goes from A being in a full bust of 30 inches or 76 inches up to a bust of 64 inches, or actually no, up to 66 inches or 168 inches. They're the body measurements. So it's got two bust cup options. They're calling it a fuller chest and a smaller chest. So I think that's a really great size range. The hip measurement, the largest hip measurement they do is 178 centimetres or 70 inches. So I think that's a fabulous size range. Really, really nice to see that. I've made a Gabby dress by Fibre Mood before, and this actually, I think that would look really nice in the Gabby with the big puffy sleeves. Endless options with 3.5 meters for when we finally start getting into our summery weather. Beautiful, can't wait to make that up for summer. Another pattern I've purchased recently, and I have actually had it printed out on AO and I have picked it up already, so this one is definitely happening, and it is the Bella Loves Patterns Apollo jumper. This has been on my radar for quite a long time, and then Ginny from the Big Sew Along made it recently, and I thought, yes, I have to. Now that I've seen it, I have to make it up. So the Apollo, I would make it out of this. It would be very snuggly and warm. The Apollo, it does not have a great size range. It's just very average. For example, the largest bust size it goes up to is 112 centimetres, which is, 44 inches. And the hips 119 centimetres or 46 3/4 inches. So not a huge size range, but happily I fit into the size range. And they say it's for structured, what do they say the best fabrics to use are heavy and medium weight knits with low stretch, such as sweatshirt. So, and they say French Terry and Ponte Roma has more drape and the collar will have a more slouchy look. Well, I'm not sure how slouchy this collar would be, but I think it's definitely the right kind of fabric to make this in. I really love a stand-up neck, as you can see, and I love the architectural sleeve on this pattern as well. I know that when Ginny made it, she said the sleeves came up quite short, so I probably would lengthen that. But other than that, I probably also would end up, I think, grading out a little bit at the hip, because the finished garment measurements, well, it doesn't actually give a finished garment measurement for the hip, but the waist, the largest size, the size 22, gives a finished waist of 23 centimetres, which is quite roomy because the waist measurement for the size 22 is 96. If the garment is straight down from the waist down to the hip, that's not going to be quite enough in the hip for me, because my hips, my belly, lower belly spreads when I sit down. So I might just grade out a little bit because I think the pattern is quite straight through. But other than that, really looking forward to making up that pattern. And I probably will do that really soon. Like I say, I've printed it off and I've picked it up. It's sitting on the table over there. So that's going to get made up or started at least probably this week, probably next weekend, I would say. This also has different height files, just to mention. Another pattern I purchased recently, just a couple of days ago, is a Sinclair Patterns barrel leg trouser, Nori, or Nori, N-O-R-I. I think this is a brand new pattern. I think that's why it's on sale at the moment for $7.99 US instead of $10.99 US. So everybody's obsessed with barrel leg trousers at the moment, and so am I, and I haven't made any, and I really want to. I hope they're going to suit my body shape, and so I bought these trousers. I know Sinclair Patterns are great because they've got different height files as well. They've got short, or do they call it petite, or short, regular and tall. So when you purchase a Sinclair pattern, you get all those size files, which is really amazing. And so this pattern, barrel leg trousers, it's got a seam line down the middle there, it's got pockets in the front, which if I can, I might eliminate those. I don't know, we'll see. I don't always like bulk around the sort of lower belly area, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, so this actually would look nice, I think, made up in this cotton linen that I showed you earlier. I think they would be actually really, really cute. Oh, yes, really, really cute. Do you know what I might even do is make the barrel leg trousers. I'll do a twirl to make sure that they turn out okay. But imagine this, barrel leg trousers and some kind of top over the top. So it would look like a jumpsuit, even though it's not a jumpsuit, because I can't see jumpsuits in my life ever. But a top and a pair of trousers, it would look sort of jumpsuity, a bit of a onesie. I really like that idea. I'm going to have to put my thinking cap on and figure out what top I might like to wear with these barrel leg trousers. Yay! So that's all the fabrics and all the patterns that I have purchased recently. Some of these fabrics I am so excited about. This velvet, this merino, and this cotton linen I am particularly excited about. The other ones will be great. I'll make those up and they'll be great. But those are the ones that are really getting my imagination fired up at the moment. I can't wait to make some of those up. So at the moment I'm busy cutting out the moto jacket, the Canton moto jacket by Cashmerette for my collab with Polly Sews. There are a lot of pieces in that pattern and I am busily cutting them out. I think I've finished cutting out, I'm just looking at my cutting out table. Yes, I have finished cutting out all the main pieces, the exterior pieces. Now I need to start cutting out the lining pieces and then the interfacing pieces. Like I say, a lot of pieces, but it'll be amazing once it's made, I hope. So that's what's keeping me busy at the moment. As always, let me know what you're getting up to in the comments down below. I love to know what projects you're working on, and I look forward to seeing you next week. So I hope you're all well and happy and doing loads of sewing, and I'll see you then. Bye.